Welcome to the Explainer. So you're scrolling through your feed and boom, you see it, the Cockroach Janata Party, or CJP. At first glance, it just looks like another bizarre, kind of random internet meme, right? But hold on, because beneath this massive viral internet trend is actually a profound sociological mirror of modern politics. We're going to apply a really structured analytical lens today, and when we do, we'll uncover a literal masterclass in how everyday citizens process political reality. Let's break down exactly how this whole trend goes way, way beyond just mere entertainment. So why exactly is a viral meme about a, well, cockroach exposing structural outrage in Indian politics? To answer that, we really have to peel back the layers of this internet humor. We need to figure out exactly how a simple and, let's be honest, arguably pretty gross insect became the absolute perfect vessel for deep-seated frustration. By the end of this explainer, you're going to see how this satirical concept hit the digital space and just morphed into a massive, undeniable political statement. Think of this trend as a two-sided coin. On one hand, you've got this brilliant intellectual humor and digital wit, the clever edits, the laugh-out-loud moments that make a meme absolutely explode online in the first place. But then, right there on the flip side, is a sense of deep helplessness and unspoken outrage. Right beneath all the laughter is a very real, very heavy frustration with the system. You honestly can't understand the Cockroach Janata Party without recognizing both of these elements at the exact same time. It's just the perfect synthesis of comedy and collective societal stress. Which brings us to Layer 1, satire as a weapon. Look, this CJP isn't just random internet noise. It's actually driven by some highly specific, deeply structural grievances. We're talking about the heavy, day-to-day burdens on the ordinary citizen. Think about inflation making everyday goods so much more expensive, high taxes shrinking take-home pay, and of course, unemployment creating this deep, pervasive economic anxiety. In a functioning democracy, people need a way to voice those exact concerns. And when direct protests just don't seem to work, or when people feel totally unheard on these massive socioeconomic issues, well, they weaponize satire. They literally use humor as both a coping mechanism and a giant megaphone. All of that helplessness breeds a truly striking sentiment. The core idea is basically this. No matter how harsh your policies are, we, the common people, are forced to survive in any condition, just like cockroaches. I mean, just take a second to really let that sink in. Citizens have actively adopted the cockroach as a symbol for themselves. It's this incredibly sharp, self-deprecating dig at the government. They're essentially saying, hey, you can throw the absolute worst economic conditions at us, and we have no choice but to just scurry around and survive. It takes this heavy feeling of absolute helplessness and flips it into a badge of forced resilience. Now, let's look at Layer 2, the ultimate survivors. Because you see, this metaphor actually cuts both ways. Let's think about evolutionary biology for a second. It is a scientific fact that the cockroach is practically indestructible. I mean, we're talking about a creature that literally outlived the dinosaurs. They can survive extreme temperatures, radiation, conditions that would absolutely wipe out almost any other species on the entire planet. And that sheer, stubborn resilience, that is exactly what the public is zeroing in on here. The public has drawn a seriously brilliant parallel. Just as roaches survive against all evolutionary odds, modern-day politicians seem to survive literally everything thrown at them. Through defection dramas, shifting political alliances, completely collapsing governments, somehow the exact same entrenched faces just remain in power. The public views these figures as completely locked into the system, basically surviving every single political extinction event. It delivers this massive, deeply satirical blow to the perceived lack of political morality. That brings us to Layer 3, Rise of Digital Dissent. Think about how things used to be. Traditionally, if the public was angry about something like inflation or corruption, you'd see these massive straight protests, right? Or you'd have people engaging in these incredibly long, exhausting political debates. But today, there has been a massive shift, particularly among educated youth. They're moving away from the physical pavement, and they're actively choosing the digital space to register their dissent. The battleground has just fundamentally evolved into meme culture. And meme culture offers some incredibly unique tactical advantages. The Cockroach Janata Party isn't just some silly picture, it's actually highly intellectual. It requires this deep understanding of context, irony, and political history. And because of that, it stings the establishment sharply. Think about it. It is deeply embarrassing for a system to be mocked so cleverly. But here is the crucial part. It remains completely immune to censorship. You can break up a physical protest or you can shut down a debate, but you absolutely cannot legislate against a widely shared joke about a cockroach. That makes it an incredibly resilient, basically untouchable political tool. So what does this all mean? Let's get to the ultimate reality check. Ultimately, the Cockroach Janata Party is not just a passing internet fad. It is a striking social reality of our times. On the one hand, yeah, for sure, it makes us laugh and it showcases just immense digital creativity. But on the other hand, it serves as a glaring warning to those in power. It proves that even if the public appears quiet in the traditional sense, or if they just seem to be casually posting memes on their phones, they're actually watching. They're watching every single policy flaw and political maneuver with absolute precision, and they are meticulously documenting it through satire. So, here is the big question. When a citizen's helplessness transforms into sharp satire, when they literally have to use humor to cope with taxes, inflation, and political survival tactics, are the rulers truly paying attention to the reality check? It's definitely something to think about the next time a joke like this crosses your feed. Thanks for joining today's Explainer. Keep questioning, and we'll catch you next time.